We're living in one of the most connected times in history. Everything around us is getting smarter. AI, smart homes, devices that are always on. Life has become much faster, more convenient, more connected. But while all this progress is happening, there's something else quietly growing around us. Something we can't see, hear, or smell. Yet, it's always there. Think about our daily life. 20 years ago, we spent more time outdoors. People talked face to face, and most of us weren't constantly surrounded by screens, signals, and connected devices. Did you remember your parents telling you not to keep your phone too close all the time? Back then, it sounded like a simple advice, but today, the world is very different. Your phone, your Wi-Fi router, Bluetooth devices, smart appliances, all of them are constantly sending signals. Together, they form what scientists call electromagnetic pollution, or electrosmog. It's invisible, it's silent, and it's everywhere.
Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to my living space. My name is Simon Lowe, and today we're actually going to do a tour to find out exactly how much electrosmoke I'm exposed to in my living environment. So let's go. Now the question is, how can we begin to understand something that we can't even see? Well, we start by measuring it. This is the emD 100. It measures and detects electrosmoke levels coming from the devices that we use every single day. And what it reveals might just surprise you. Now, the emD 100 uses a proprietary scale called the AEI, which stands for Ambient Electrosmoke Index. Think of it like a simple visual guide, from green to yellow, orange, and red zones. Each color shows a different level of electrosmoke in your environment. And once you see it, you start to realize how much pollution is actually around you, even in a peaceful looking environment like this. Now watch this. As everyday devices get switched on and operate, the detector begins to respond. What was once invisible now becomes measurable. So I'm not imagining it. These pollutions are real, and I am absorbing a lot of it. And so are you. Even healthcare professionals like Dr. Satvinder Singh shows concern about the potential side effects of electrosmoke.
The children's brain, like the hypothalamus, it tends to absorb 1.5 to 2 times more electromagnetic fields than an adult. But if you look at the child's bone marrow, it absorbs an amazing 10 times more electromagnetic radiation than an adult. The brain is much more absorbent, the skull is thinner, and because the relative size is smaller, if I give you the same dosage, your smaller tissue is going to absorb more than the bigger tissue. The first thing you have to do is keep the appliance that's emitting the radiation further apart from you, like handphones, off all power points when they're not in use. Number 3, you could use electromagnetic field harmonizers, which will balance out the radiation side effects from the appliance.
Furthermore, Canadian researchers like Dr. Magda Havas have published studies exploring how certain electromagnetic exposures may affect biological responses under specific conditions. Now, this is an area that's still being explored. But one thing is clear, our environment is changing, and we can no longer ignore it. Why are all these important to you? Because your body is electrical. Your brain sends signals, your nerves carry impulses throughout the body. So naturally, scientists have also studied how external electromagnetic waves interact with us. Especially within certain frequency ranges, they may align with the human body. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is there no way out? is it game over? Or is there light at the end of the tunnel? Let's talk about what you can do today to start protecting yourself and your family. Introducing the emGuarde, a portable, harmonic technology device designed for the world that we live in today. With a touch of just one button, emGuarde works by suppressing and harmonizing complex electromagnetic environments all around you. Now let's take a look at what happens in real time. Without emGuarde, you can clearly see that the AEI levels from the EMD 100 is very high. On my laptop, on my tablet, and on my smartphone. Now, we turn on the emGuarde and watch closely. The moment the emGuarde is turned on, the harmonic indicator has turned from a red to green. This shows when emGuarde is active, the environment becomes more harmonized. And the AEI levels have also dropped to a green zone. And that makes emGuarde one of the most powerful personal protectors that you can have. Now, to better understand this interaction, an interventional study was conducted in the University of Tunku Abdul Rahman, led by Dr. Telai Kwan, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Science. The research looked at how environmental conditions may affect biological systems.
So for this project, we are looking into the electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome. In short, I will call this as EHS. And we are looking into a portable device, which is named as emGuarde, to look into the protective effect over the self-perceived EHS participant. Within just a 3-day observation period, 70.3% of participants reported noticeable improvement in their symptoms. We also observed a 50.7% reduction in blood cell aggregation, which is significant as it supports smoother blood flow, improved microcirculation, and more efficient delivery of oxygen and nutrients at the cellular level. In addition, there was a 59.5% increase in serotonin level, supporting better mood, sleep, and cognitive function.
Now, at the end of the day, what matters most are the people that we love, our families, our home, our everyday lives. Because technology isn't going anywhere. It's only going to become more integrated into everything that we do. And that's why the emGuarde is designed to move with you, at home, at work, and wherever life takes you. If this message resonates with you, reach out to the person that shared this video with you. And I'm so excited for you to start your journey with emGuarde today. My name is Simon. Take care and stay protected. All right, guys, I hope you have enjoyed that video. That was our fresh production. Just came out of the oven less than a week ago. So that was, it's a very comprehensive, complete video on exactly what emGuarde does, how the detector works, how you can use the detector, and also clinical intervention study done in University of Tunku Abdul Rahman. There was a question by Rekha in the chat box about the full report. It will be published on PubMed soon. It is in the progress. So we are all waiting for that final report published on PubMed for the full methodology. All right. So first of all, good morning to everybody from Asia, and good evening to you guys over in North America. And I would like to make an announcement that emGuarde has just started to sell in Canada as of 8th of August. So if there are some Canadian friends in this Zoom call, that's good news. That's already started on 8th of August. Okay, so whether it will be sold on the convention, I'm not sure. I believe so. Liz, I believe so, right? So they've already started selling it as of 8th of August. And I know for our Indian friends, we are very, very anxious for emGuarde to be in India. And I think I've met many of you guys in the Mumbai 10th anniversary event with more than 10,000 people. And I was on stage to talk about emGuarde. So Enagic India is already making its preparation. So once the preparation and approvals are done, they will make the announcement to the distributor. So please be patient for the time being. It will be very soon. That's what I can say. Okay, so it's good that you guys, our Indian friends, are on this call, because those of you who are on this call, which means you want to learn about emGuarde at a very early stage, so that when it launches, you guys are the pioneers in your market. Michael says, can you provide this link? Okay, Michael, go to YouTube. And I'm going to provide this link, but the thing is there are many other links, videos. So I'm going to send the YouTube link of the channel. Okay, of the channel. And in that channel, all the videos, including the complete demo, including the entire comprehensive video on the UTAR, which is University of Tunku Abdul Rahman's interventionist study video, documentary video, is also posted up there. Okay, so go through it. There's an entire library of stuff there. Okay, so I think I've made a few announcements. In the, our Indian distributors, please be patient. It's going to come very, very soon. So today's Zoom, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here today. And I'm going to run through with you guys what an exciting product that this emGuarde is, and what it actually does for your body, for your environment, and why is it an important technology in our everyday modern lives today. So that is the first part of my presentation, because we live in a wireless world, that we no longer live in 1990s where only a few people has a mobile phone, only a few people has a personal computer. Today, you're talking about even young kids have iPads, phones, wireless headphones in their backpacks when they go to school. That's the reality that we're living in today. It's not like before. All right. So times have changed, and definitely when technology advances, it leaves behind residue, and we call it pollution. And this pollution, unlike air pollution, unlike water pollution, unlike nuclear pollution, you can't actually sense, see, or smell EMF pollution. It's invisible, but it's everywhere, right? It goes through our homes, our bedrooms, our bodies, and it's silent, constant, and unseen. And because of the power of this product, the second part of my presentation, I'll be sharing with you guys, if you see a huge potential in this innovation and in this innovative product, the company that we are partnering with, Enagic, is offering an incredible business opportunity for you guys to become a distributor of this amazing new technology called the emGuarde. So that will be part 2 of my presentation this morning. All right. But first of all, before we talk about any business opportunity, let's talk about why this is needed by the masses, because we are connected 24/7, right? And it's not just our phone. We are looking at trends I'm from Malaysia. I'm currently still in Malaysia. And we're looking at trends in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, in Asia, in India, in US, Canada, in Europe, in the Middle East. One trend that is growing incredibly is electric vehicles, right? A lot of people are turning towards electric vehicles. Why? Because of all these wars, gas and oil prices have gone up so high. A lot of households are considering getting an EV car. And I can guarantee you, out of 10 people that buys an EV, probably 10 of them don't know that they're exposed to more radiation. That's been my track record so far. Nobody knows. Nobody questions these things. All they know is that, okay, I'm going to save $200, $300, $400 a month on my gas bill. That's what they know. But they don't know how much medical bills is going to come and how much stress that these things are going to put on their bodies, right? So this is a huge thing. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. That's my guy. Gonna see you soon, Vancouver. So Rekha said she has a Tesla, yeah? So bring any EMF meter into a Tesla, you're gonna find out. All right. So even when you rest, and I think there's a huge market segment. when we talk about young adults, for example, people my age, I'm in my 30s, planning to start a family soon, planning to have kids soon. And when your kid is born and brought up in an environment where there's just electromagnetic pollution, or what we call electro smoke, everywhere, is in their room. And now parents, what do? They put baby monitors in next to the baby cot. They put CCTV, wireless CCTV in the baby cot. They do all kinds of stuff, and they are not aware about something called electro smoke. It is around their babies. And one thing that I'm not sure if you guys caught from the video, Dr. Satvinder Singh, the Malaysian doctor, mentioned that children's hypothalamus and their skulls actually absorbs much more radiation than a full-grown adult, because when babies are young, their skulls are designed to be softer so that when they fall, they don't have injury. But that also comes with a thinner membrane of defense from radiation, because our bodies were not meant to be in this kind of, it's not natural. This is not natural. We created this kind of radiation. We created this kind of pollution. All right. So it never sleeps. And today, health experts are becoming more and more concerned. Right. And it's just everywhere. Right. I can't stress that more. And this is a very, very interesting study that is interesting and sad at the same time. And this is from the Autism Community in Action, called TACA. And they've actually done a study and an analysis on the level of autism, right, among children from the 1970s all the way up to 2023. So this is a 2023 report. Okay, the latest was 2023. And in the 1970s, you're talking about 1 in 10,000 kids develop autism. You will not even hear about autism back in the 70s, 80s, or even 90s, right? Very rare, right? But take a look at the rate that is growing. In 2023, reported by the CDC, it was 1 in 36. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is shocking to you, type 1 in the chat box. Because 1 in 36, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, we are talking about a 3% chance a newborn child could be autistic, whether heavily autistic, mildly autistic, but on the spectrum. And this is concerning. This is very, very concerning. And am I here to tell you that, oh, it's because of the mobile phone that kids are becoming autistic? No, it's a conglomerate or a concoction of lifestyle changes that has happened since the 70s to today, which is the food that we put into our body. We put GMO foods, we put burgers, we put things that would not rot if you leave out there for 48 hours. We drink soda drinks, we breathe bad air, and we use all kinds of technology. And it's a combination of all these things. And now what emGuarde is trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, from a health standpoint, is to help people solve the majority of their health issues with Kangen water, which is 70% of the body, cleaning their air, Kangen air, making sure their body's in good shape with good food, which is the Ukon supplement. And now they realize, hey, the biggest thing the modern people, the modern city dweller is facing is radiation. And now they want to solve the problem of EMF radiation. Can you see what emGuarde is doing? It is an entire holistic way of looking at wellness. And if this message resonates with you, type emGuarde E in the chat box. What emGuarde is doing is God's work. It's work for the mankind. That's what emGuarde is doing. It's trying to solve every possible problem to be solved. All right. And that's why we're all part of this amazing company. All right. Take a look at this. World Health Organization back in 2011. So this was not new. This was years ago, where they already said radio frequency electromagnetic field are possibly carcinogenic to humans, right? Cancer causing. And this is from the WHO. All right. Not from any random doctor somewhere. World Health Organization. So these are real. And if you talk to a lot of your friends, if you talk to a lot of your friends, your family, they'll tell you, oh, is it really that bad? I mean, I've been using my phone. You get all these stuff. I've been using my phone for over 20 years. I don't have cancer. I don't have issues, right? They'll tell you these things. And you need to show them these proofs, because EMF radiation doesn't affect you today, tomorrow. It affects you in the long run. And it may not give you drastic symptoms like, oh, every time I use a phone, I get a massive headache. Some people do because they are hypersensitive. But regular guys like yourself and myself, I don't know, maybe there are some people that are hypersensitive in this call. We may get symptoms that we think it's from something else, but it's from the EMF. All right, bad sleep, bad mood, irregular hormones, fatigue, tiredness, muscle fatigue, stuff like that. Right? So Rekha said, my husband doesn't think it's affecting him. Yeah, and that is the majority of the population, majority, because they have not seen these things. Take a look at this. Man-made electromagnetic fields and oxidative stress. Now, we all want to live long, healthy lives, right? And I think with Kangen Water and now with Wukong and now with emGuarde, we're all going to live very healthy lives. All right. But one thing before emGuarde, what if I tell you that your mobile phone is actually increasing aging in your body? It is increasing oxidative stress. And we know the mother of all sickness is oxidative stress. The moment you put your body through high oxidative stress, that's what's going to happen, right? Things oxidize faster, body ages faster, sickness comes faster. We know about this, right? Impact of electromagnetic radiation, the one in the middle, on changes in cellular membrane and a protective antioxidant effect of vitamin A. And the study on the right on PubMed, effects of electromagnetic fields exposure on antioxidant defense system. So take a look at this. 3 things all talking about attacking our antioxidant defense system. Listen, can EMF increase inflammation in the body? Yes. Because when you look at the report from Utah, right? I'm going to use the word Utah because the long name is very long. University Tunku Abdul Rahman. So for short form is Utah, okay? So they talked about something called the heat shock protein, that when you use devices, it increases heat shock protein. And it is actually, this heat shock protein, they call it HSP, is generated by the body when there's inflammation, when there is oxidative stress, when you're under the sun for too long, it comes out. And it actually increases it, right? And emGuarde actually brought it down. So go ahead to the emGuarde Global YouTube channel, watch the entire Utah video. All right. The segment in my demo video is just a snippet of it. Go and watch the complete one. You get a better idea of it. So it's very, very powerful video. And take a look at this. Where are my, guys in the room? I've not given birth to a child yet. I look forward to have kids. And when I read this affected me because take a look at this. Where do we actually put our phones? In our front pockets, very near to our male reproductive organs, even females. And take a look at this. This study, it's from India, by the way, right? It's from India, talking about how radiation increases, reduces sperm count, sperm motility, sperm morphology, sperm viability, and reduce antioxidants. Now, this could be a very sensitive subject to some of you, but reproductivity to humankind is everything. And if you look at the society that we live in today, lesser and lesser people are having kids. If you agree with me, type 1 in the chat box. Sometimes it's not because they don't want to, they can't. I have friends that have tried for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, no kids. All right, go for IVF, spend $10,000 every time, no guarantee of having a kid. Go for 3 times, 4 times, no kid. Try. It's become a big problem, right? So take a look at these things. And I think these information itself is enough for us to make a decision to start using the emGuarde. Take a look at this. EMF Safety Network back in 2019 talked about 871 people says that they have sleeping problems because of radiation. They have fatigue problems because of radiation. They have concentration, memory, or learning problems because of radiation. Who here that resonates with this message, that you find yourself unable to focus, on doing something, doing work, or you're doing some presentation, or maybe you're filing your taxes or whatever it is, and you find it hard to focus today versus when you're much younger, when you're 10, 15, 20 years old. Type 1, if you're suffering that, I belong to that group, right? And I belong to that group. It's so hard to focus. And we have to ask ourselves why. Okay. And since I've used the emGuarde, since I have one old model of emGuarde above me, I have my portable one with me. I have right here, the new one. Always, everywhere I go, I carry it everywhere I go. And it's just been able to help me remove all that brain fog. I'm thinking a lot clearer. I'm waking up fresher. I'm having better sleep. Who here you have gotten better sleep after using emGuarde? Type me in the chat box if you've gotten better sleep. All right. I've gotten tremendous sleep after using the emGuarde. I used to wake up 2-3 times during the night, go to the washroom, play on my phone, struggle to go back to sleep, wake up tired. And then the cycle repeats day after day, day after day. All right. All right. So take a look at this. France already stopped selling iPhone 12 because of radiation levels. This is old news, 2023. I talked about it when I was doing my Europe tour. When I was in Europe, I talked about this and everybody, they know about it. They say, yeah, we know. And now we're waiting for a solution and they are so happy that emGuarde was there. And that's why Europe was the highest selling branch for emGuarde around the world. They sold the most because why? Their awareness level was the highest. When I travel the entire world, talk about emGuarde, the Europeans, their government, their non-profit organizations and associations and consumer groups, the awareness level is very high. Right? And they bought the most emGuarde, they sold the most emGuarde because people already know that there's a problem. But from where I'm from, Malaysia, if you talk about EMF, they look at you like this. Really? Really? We know it's bad, but we don't know it's that bad. Right? So this is we are in a blue ocean industry, ladies and gentlemen, that if we're able to educate the public, we're going to sell to the public because we are the educators. And normally the ones who educate the most, you will dominate that sector, right? And now we're so excited that Canada, US just started selling emGuarde. Like US was last month, Canada was last week. So this is a brand new emGuarde 2.0 strategy, right? So the new emGuarde emGuarde, it is our close body personal protection. And the new design features a way slicker design. Those of you who have your emGuarde can show it on the screen, show it to everybody. Those of you who have it can show it. And it shows a new design, slicker, smaller. Because why? We spend most of our times away from our desks, away from our homes, away from our bedrooms. We're outside, we're in Starbucks, we're talking to people about business, we're having meetings, we're at work, whatever it is. You need to have this by your side, right? So it is a 24/7 protection everywhere we go because it's portable. It's studied, backed up by clinical research, by the interventional study that I just shared in the video. It has a 3 meter or 10 feet strong coverage field. In fact, it utilizes something called the looping antenna, which means because it's a mobile unit, this unit has actually been upgraded to make sure that the harmonic bubble, the protection bubble, is much more stable as a mobile unit. The older model, you can't really bring it everywhere because it's designed to be a stationary unit. The harmonic frequencies is sent out in a linear fashion, straight line. So you're not supposed to move it everywhere. It's not that stable. But this has been upgraded because it's a mobile unit. If you guys like that, type 1 in the chat box. It's upgraded. But the thing is, you can't see the upgrade. Why? Everything is inside. And you can't see the coverage because it's invisible. So the only thing you can do is to use a detector and to check the stability of the coverage. Okay. Number 4, very, very excited. It is a patented technology, right, in the US and also in Malaysia and many other countries. And that is the US patent number. Okay. It's right there. And it has a 72-hour lithium battery certified. Sorry, not certified. Certified. Okay. So what do you call that? Every charge, it lasts you for approximately 72 hours or more. Okay, so it's a rechargeable product. And the battery that it uses inside the emGuarde, it is a UL certified battery. For some of you, that may not sound like human language to you. What is UL certified? UL means it has complied with the highest battery certification level that is fit for sale in North America, Europe, and all around the world, which means it is smartphone level battery tech. You know, when you buy a cheap power bank online, like for $10 from China or whatever, those batteries, you should not put it in your pocket or in your backpack. You're just not sure. because they're normally not certified. Now, this one, because Enagic knows that it's going to be carried around, it's going to be put in the handbags, it's going to be put in our pockets, it is 100% certified at the highest quality, right? UL certified, all right? So 100% safe. And how does it work? Three things, 1, 2, and 3, okay? The harmonic oscillation core, which is the core technology, which is the emGuarde's proprietary harmonic technology engineered for modern high-density electromagnetic environment. It is trying to convert your complex, dense electromagnetic environment into a calm, more peaceful, harmonized environment through its harmonic oscillation core. That's the core technology. And number 2, it's looping antenna structure. And this is what I've actually mentioned. So it's designed to distribute consistent harmonic output evenly within 3 meter or 10 feet diameter. Okay. And number 3, power management system. The reason why it could last 72 hours or more is because they've done a lot of things within the product to make sure that it regulates its power output properly, so that you do not have to charge it every other day. All right. So these are the 3 key things of the emGuarde. And I want to talk about this person right here, this esteemed person right here, Dr. Magda Havas. And this is the big thing what emGuarde is solving, right? Because Dr. Magda Havas, she's Canadian, right? She's based in Canada. I think she's pretty old on age already. She's probably like 80 years old, something like that. She's dedicated her entire life to educating the public about EMF in Canada, in all around the world. And she talks about something called red blood cell aggregation. That means, she calls it rouleau formation. That's a French word, rouleau. So what rouleau formation is in a healthy red blood cell, in a clean EMI environment, take a look at the bottom right of the screen. Your red blood cells are supposed to be free-flowing. They're supposed to be free-flowing and not obstructed, not stacked together. But the moment you spend 70 minutes on a computer, it starts to aggregate, it starts to stack. And the moment you spend just 10 minutes on your smartphone, the stacking or the rouleau formation becomes even worse. Take a look at that, right? And the thing is, when you have red blood cells all stacked up together, what is going to happen to your blood circulation? Is it going to increase or decrease? Put that in the chat box. What's going to happen to your oxygen absorption? Is it going to increase or decrease? Put that in the chat box. What's going to happen to your detoxification? Is it going to increase or decrease? Put that in the chat box. And all the answers are uniform. It's going to go lower, it's going to decrease. Why? Because when you have 10 plates laid out on your dinner table, you could put 10 pieces of cake. But when you stack 10 plates on top of each other, you could also put 1 piece of cake. Can you see that? So you can't put 10 pieces of cake on 1 stack of plates. You can only put 1. So that is the same theory with red blood cells. It needs to be in its original form or free-flowing. And why does that matter? Because it could lead to poor circulation, oxygen transport, reduced waste removal. That's why people are getting headache. That's why people are getting fatigue. That's why people are having difficulty concentrating, because there's less oxygen to the brain, right? Red blood cells brings oxygen, simple as that. That's why when you use your phone, right? Let me know if you've felt this before. When you use your phone, especially when it's charging, right? Especially with charging, and you're watching a YouTube video, what happens to your fingers? You can even feel the rouleau formation, which is the numbness, the tingling, and the cold extremities, right? If you have felt that before, I guarantee everybody has felt that before. Type 1 in the chat box, right? That numbness feeling. And that is rouleau formation. That is rouleau formation. All right. And I want to show you guys something real quick. Before I go to the detector, I want to show you guys something real quick. Because me, myself, I've actually done my own blood test. I've actually done my own blood test with a couple of my buddies. And I want to show you before using phones and after using phones. Let me know if you guys can see this. Can you guys see my screen? I think you guys can, right? So I've done this blood test. Subject A is me, right? Subject A is me. B, C, D is some of my downlines, some of my team members. And what we did was we had this was done like some time ago. One of the mornings, we didn't have coffee, we didn't have food, didn't have Kangen water. We just woke up in a fasted state. We took a blood test. And those were our, and another thing, no usage of mobile phones. We didn't use, we tried to reduce our mobile phones, right, in the morning. And we took a blood test, and generally it all looked pretty healthy. It was all separated, it looked good. But the moment we spent 30 minutes on our phone, and I still remember I was watching a tennis game, like 25 minutes, I was just watching a tennis game. And this was the second blood test prick that we have done. Just 30 minutes on the phone. I want you to take a look at that. Subject A is me. Take a look at that. 30 minutes. I want you guys to ask yourself this. A lot of people ask me, why you, Simon, why are you so gung-ho about emGuarde? Because I've seen this with my own eyes. This is my blood. Subject A is me. I saw what 30 minutes on the phone does to my blood. So what happens when I spend 8-10 hours a day on my phone? What's going to happen to my body? If this is shocking to you, type 1 in the chat box. If this is shocking, take a look at that. It's beyond. And it's not just me. Look at B, C, and D. Everybody had the same thing. Everybody had the same thing. So what we did, we want to know how powerful the emGuarde is. So what I did was, all of us continued to use our phones for another 30 minutes. So we didn't stop. We continued to use our phones for another 30 minutes, but with this new emGuarde by the side of us, right? Just in front of the table, something like that, right? I want you guys to take a look at the results. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. If this alone is not evidence and proof that everybody should have one of these devices, I don't know what is. If this alone. That's why I said before I even want to talk about the detector or whatever technical stuff, ultimately we need to know, what does emGuarde do for our body? And if this result is amazing, type 8 in the chat box. Why 8? Because number 8 is very good. Number 8 is for prosperity in terms of health, in terms of money. So I always like the number 8. Take a look at that. I want you guys to look at, after using emGuarde, the blood formation was exactly or almost exactly the same as before using the phone. Can you guys see that? Morning fasted without water, without phones. So why emGuarde truly wants to sell this is because it jives with their philosophy of Kangen. And what is Kangen in Japanese? Kangen means return to origin. Return to origin. And that's what emGuarde is doing to our body. Mehdi said 8 stands for 8 points too. Exactly. So guys, take a look at these kind of incredible results, I would have to say. Incredible. I've not seen this in any other product. And imagine, emGuarde is not something that you eat or drink. There's nothing to eat from this. You just leave it there. And it's doing its work magically in the background. And this is just so powerful. And how are you able to make this a powerful product for you to sell? Number one, do your own blood tests. Get a friend who is a nurse. I don't have any friends who are nurses, so what I did, I ordered a microscope from China, cost like $300. Cheap, very cheap. Microscopes are very cheap. I just did it in my home. It's no big deal. Just make sure those needles are clean and sanitary, just do it. If you want to be safe, go to clinic, go to a doctor, go to a friend that is a nurse, get them to do it. Yeah? So Rekha asked, how did you do the test? No, I bought the microscope from China, cost like, I think it was like close to $300 with shipping and everything, and I just do it. I do it for all my team members in Malaysia. So you can do it as well. You can also do it at a doctor's office. Liz asked, where can these electro-smoke detector be purchased? From emGuarde. emGuarde sells it in the US. They are already selling it in Canada. Talk to your branch office. Yeah, it's sold by emGuarde. Okay, so guys, I'm not gonna drag it. I want to go straight to the point. This tool right here is gonna be your tool to actually close sales. We call it the new EMD 100 electro-smoke detector. I'm gonna go briefly on what this is. Now, it uses something called the AEI scale, Ambient Electro-Smoke Index. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with something called API. I don't know what they use in Canada, US, or India, but in Malaysia, we have something called API, Air Pollution Index. I'm sure you have something like that, something similar. So when the air is bad, the government comes up with like API levels. Okay, this city is like 100, this city is like 150, this city is 80. The higher, the worse. So the AEI uses a similar standard to give people an interpretation of their electro smoke environment. And it's very simple. It is from low to very high. Green, 1 to 25 scale, 26 to 50, 51 to 75, 76 to 100. So this detector has really been, I would have to say, dumbed down to make it easier for people to understand rather than using too many scientific terms. All right. So I want to share with you guys a quick video. Now, this was actually one of our team members. They went to a clean park somewhere in Malaysia. It's a place called Cyberjaya, where it's a beautiful park, green, no buildings, very, very clean, and they tested the environment. Take a look at this. So it's very low. And this is where we actually stopped by a high tension cable by the highway. All right. So even you can see when you go to a park, you can still see the AI level sometimes goes to a yellow zone. Why? Because as long as you can get a 5G signal into your mobile phone, there is radiation. As simple as that. Right. So if you want to go to an environment that has zero radiation, you have to go to an environment that you can't even get a signal on your phone. Like, I don't know, God knows where. Right. So in the city or in suburbs, it's just impossible. All right. So what we did was the next one, we went next to a highway. There was a high tension cable. Take a look at this environment. Look at this. It was off the charts. Right. And people, there are people living, 200 feet away from these high tension towers. Yeah, 300 feet. And that's the thing. We have to start educating the public. And listen, now we have 6G, which is much worse. And the thing is this. If you look at, this is a very interesting topic, right? You see, we went from 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, now to 6G. And if you notice, every time we jump a G, more towers have to be set up. Why? Because when you use higher G for higher internet speeds, you need to use higher frequencies. And higher frequencies travels shorter distances. That's why when we're using 2G, you literally needed one tower in your suburb, and that was about it. One tower on the top of the mountain, and that's it. 3G, a bit more. 4G, you start to see it a bit more. And 5G, every street has a 5G tower. Do you guys notice that? Type 1 if you notice that in your own community. And 6G is going to be more because higher frequencies travel shorter distances. So it means it's going to be more towers setting up for 6G in your neighborhood. And that's why when I don't know if you guys are into like space stuff. I'm a bit of a space geek. So when they send Voyager 1 to go of outer space back in the 80s, when they send Voyager 1, every radio frequency signal that they used to communicate was in the hertz. Very low frequency. Why? Because it's low energy, it travels the furthest. Right? So high frequencies travels very short, low frequency travels the furthest. And that's why it is the lower frequency actually. That the lower frequency of the higher bandwidth that we are concerned with because it travels. And that's why emGuarde protects you from 3 to 1000 megahertz because the FCC says anything between 30 to 300 megahertz is what your body absorbs the most. So far, so good. So even though I'm not trying to say that 6G is not going to be dangerous, but the thing is, when you use high frequencies, the high frequency is not going to travel that far. The ones that pierces through your homes, it is from the 6G tower, but it is the residue that belongs to a lower bandwidth, which is 30 to 300, that goes into the human body much more. Are you guys with me? We talked about this with the previous emGuarde as well, right? And that's the frequency that we need to be more careful of. That's why emGuarde protects you from 3 to 1000, because that's the most vulnerable range. All right. Now on the detector, there's also a harmonic indicator. All right, harmonic indicator. And by the way, I tend to go a little bit technical sometimes when I get excited. So later I'm gonna actually direct you guys to where you guys can learn more about all these things. Is on the Facebook group under guides. There's a lot of stuff that you guys can read. Okay, so the harmonic indicator simply means that when it's red color, you are not in the protective zone of emGuarde. When it's green, you are in the protective zone of the emGuarde. So the harmonic indicator and the AEI bar, they are separate things. So you could go into the middle of the jungle and the AEI level is a green zone, but the harmonic indicator is still red because you don't have an emGuarde. I guess following. So the harmonic indicator is purely designed to make sure that you are in the undistorted, uninfluenced environment of the emGuarde. Just to make sure that you have the emGuarde with you. So far, so good. All right, so this one we can skip this, not so important. We've seen this in the video as well. Okay, so maybe we watch a short half of it. So when we turn on the emGuarde, not only will the AEI levels go down, the harmonic indicator also goes to the green. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if this is powerful, type emG in the chat box, which stands for emGuarde, because I believe with what we have discussed so far in this call, everybody simply needs this product. All right, so once again, the EMD is going to be your most powerful weapon. Do you know how I close sales now? I go to sit a friend in a coffee shop, talk to a guy. He asked me, how does that product work? I whip out my detector. I do a quick 2-minute explanation, and then I do a 2-minute demo on his phone, whatever that he has on his body. I turn on the emGuarde and boom, everything goes to a green and he's sold. That's it. And then I talk about the business plan. So I do like 5-10-minute demos. That's what I do. I don't do this entire presentation, to be honest. Right? I do this for the Zooms. It's okay for education for everybody. But in a real life setting, I just use a detector and I just use the emGuarde and that's it. I don't even have slides. I don't even use slides. Right? So you guys can do these kind of things. All right. Okay. There is also handbook if you guys are interested. Scan the QR code. You guys can go to the handbook. All the FAQs about the detector. What does this do? What does that do? What kind of batteries you need to use? Everything is inside. So if you guys want to take a quick screenshot of it, of the handbook. Okay. All right, next slide. All right, so with this now we talked about UTAR, the doctor, and those of you who are more medical, more technical, all the research is here. You can get it from the slides that is already posted up on the YouTube guides, the Facebook guide, sorry. It's all there. How did they do it? The step-by-step, all the geeky stuff. I actually saw how they did it. I actually managed to go and witness the entire thing, and I don't understand what they're doing. All I understand is the results. All right. And what are the results? After all these stuff, these are the results. 4 things. Number 1, there is a 50.7% reduction in the neural formation, blood aggregation. And this is across 3 days, right? 3 days. So the students, they all have the emGuarde, the new one, strapped onto their arm. All right. As far as possible, we gave them the university gave them like a holder, like a phone holder, and just put the emGuarde inside. 70% of electro-hypersensitivity users showed improvement. Almost 60% showed increase in serotonin levels. And that's the reason why you guys are sleeping a lot better. So Brandon said, can you do a quick pitch? I'll do that after this. I'll do that. And then we have 42.7% reduction in heat shock protein. And this is that protein that we talked about that increases oxidative stress and inflammation. Okay, so this is just so powerful. This slide alone is so powerful. Okay, so let's do a quick pitch. So imagine that's the Asian guy in the middle. That's me, with 2 girls. Okay, so I'm talking to them, and naturally, I don't talk about what I do. And I just focus on building a rapport, building a connection, and asking them what they do. The moment when you ask people what they do and they're just talking about themselves for like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, ultimately, they're going to ask you the question, hey, Simon, what do you do? They're going to ask you that question because nobody likes to be with people that only talks about what they do and how great they are. All right. And I believe that's like a big no-no. right? A lot of people, when they over talk about themselves, people get a bit turned off. So I don't do that. In fact, it's not in my nature to do that too. When people ask me about that, I said, now I'm focusing on a new technology, a new innovative technology from my company. It is a 50-year-old Japanese company, and we have launched a new product. And this new product is really incredible. It helps. In fact, you guys, I'll just whip it up. I said, in fact, you guys are under the protection zone of my new product. Then I'll whip it out. And so, what is that? You can see their face. What is that? I said, okay, I'm going to turn this off for a second. Turn this off. All right. Now you're no longer in my protective zone. And what zone am I talking about? EMF. Like, I'm sure you've heard of radiation coming out from your phones, your AirPods. Then they're like, yeah, we heard about those stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it's making you older. It's making you age faster. Do you know that? Really? Especially if you're talking to girls. It's your phone is actually aging you. They're like, oh my God, really? So yeah. That's why if you look at a telemarketer working in a telemarketing office, half of their face is older than the other half of their face. Why? Because they're on the phone on this side. Look it up. They say, oh yeah, right. Okay. So get them to be engaged with you, because if they don't understand what you're talking about, there's no point talking about the product. And go with simple things. Making you older, making your skin bad is increasing the aging. So I've got a detector right here. And this is going to show you your electromagnetic environment around you. How bad is it and how good is it? So let's just check this environment. So I'll just whip out. I'll say, okay, this environment is medium, is moderate. So we're actually exposed to some radiation. But take a look at this. Turn on your phone. I put the detector on their phone and it goes to a red zone. And you just see the faces on their faces. Right? It's like, oh my God, it's red. I say, yeah. And how many hours do you spend a day on that phone? Oh, yeah, easily 12 hours. Exactly. So what is this technology that I am marketing? Let me show you what it does. Take a look at the detector. It is still beeping, right? Turn it on. Boom. Everything goes to a green zone. And this is protecting our entire coffee table up to 10 meters, up to 10 feet. That is the product that I'm marketing. And I'm looking for people that is interested in this subject and wants to partner up with this company to actually market this stuff. If this is something that is interested in you, we can organize a meeting, sometime this week. I do something like that. Quick pitch, very quick. All right. Then in that Zoom meeting, I go through all this stuff. But I don't do it, at a coffee shop. It's just too much. Right. So Brandon, that's how I do it. I have all kinds of variations. For older people, I talk to different crowds differently. Right. So different styles. Okay. So yeah. So what else? Okay. So again, put it in your car. A lot of people are driving electric vehicles, and offices everywhere, even you're on a run, and you can get prospects everywhere. When people see you with this device, they're going to ask you what it is, because it doesn't look like a phone. It doesn't look like a power bank. It doesn't look like anything. So they're going to ask you, oh, what is that? And it's such a great conversation starter. But the first things first is you have to hold it, charge it, and bring it everywhere. That's very important, because it's going to spark conversations everywhere we go. Right? So when I travel, I make sure I have it with me. I talk to people in the airports, talk to people on the plane, stuff like that. You talk to people, right? Can you imagine if you're on a plane, you just put it right there, boom, just right there. The guy next to you is going to ask, hey, what is that? Oh, this is protecting our zone, because EMF in the plane is very high. And in fact, you're very lucky sitting next to me, because this is protecting about 10 feet bubble. You should be lucky I'm not charging you for this. Oh, what is it about? Okay, then we can exchange numbers and talk about it later. Send you a video. It can be fun about it, right? So it's launched all around the world. Now, this is the US pricing. This is not the global pricing. This is just the US pricing. Every single set of this new emGuarde comes in a set of 2 in one bundle. Enagic calls it a bundle. So there's 2 units in one bundle. In the US, it retails for $28.80. And I think in Canada, it's retailing for about 3,300, something like that. Can't remember. 3,300 or 3,000. Let me see. So in Canada, it's going for $3,350 Canadian dollars, right? Pre-tax. All these are pre-tax. And one set gives you a bundle of 2 units. And this is what is exciting. Who here, you're already an enagic distributor? Type 1 in the chat box. You're already an enagic distributor. And type out your rank, ladies and gentlemen. Type out your rank. What's the rank that you're at right now?
3A, 6A, 5, 2. Jenny's a 2A. Great. Rekha, 4. How about the rest of you guys? What is your rank? Type it out. What are your ranks? Some of you are 0A, that's why you're not typing it out. Is there a rank called 0A? I've not sold anything. 0A. Okay. Tao, oh, hi, Rosa, 682-5 from Texas. Good to see you. I got my brother here, Brandon, 682-4. All right, we got Iman, 682. All right, so this is what's exciting for not just the 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, but also for the 682-3 and above. Take a look at this, because the new emGuarde qualifies as a one group sale for GFS calculation, and that is exciting. One unit sale. Number two, it's also a one group sale for rank advancement. You know, when you become a 6A, you need to have 10 group sales in the month of rank up to get your bonus. Now, with the old model, you got to do 20 units of that because it's 0.5, the old model. Now, with the new one, it's just like a machine. You do 10, you get your bonus. Take a look at that. All right, so everything is one group sale, which is very, very exciting. And the direct sale commission, the 1-point commission is $150. This is in US dollars. Canada, I think it's 175 CAD. And then there's a new education allowance that have been added to the new emGuarde. First level is $20. Second and third level is $10. So this is new. The old one never had education allowance. The new one has education allowance. So it's good. It's good for builders. And the third thing is there's still no enroller. And we understand that because eMagic still wants to ensure that everybody goes for the Kangen machine as well. Later, I'm going to share with you guys a strategy, right? The enroller to me doesn't really matter because if you use the new strategy by combining either Kangen or Wukong on this new strategy, you're going to rank up really quick. So who here you want to rank up really quick? Who here you want to go from whatever rank you are, you want to jump 2 ranks? You're going to jump 2 ranks. Right? Jumping 1 rank is nothing. 3A to 4A is nothing. You can do it in a week. You jump 2 ranks, 3A to 5A, 5A to 6A2. That's what you want to do. Okay? Good. So if you want to jump ranks, you gotta listen to this. So everybody, I believe you guys are familiar with the 8-point, but if we have some new people in the call, let me do something. If we have some new people on the call, I'm gonna run through this. Okay, there's a slight error here. 1 second. So who here you are new to the eMagic business? If you are new, type 1 in the chat box if you're new. And I think we have a lot of existing distributors. Okay, cool. Very cool. I hope you guys are getting some value here. Right, new stuff. Okay, good. Thank you for coming to this Zoom, first of all. So this is how the eMagic business works. First of all, for you to become a distributor, you must first own the product. All right? Because you can't sell something that you don't own, as simple as that. You can't tell people that keto diet is good for you if you're not doing keto. Simple as that. You can't tell people to go to the gym if you don't go to the gym. So it's the same thing with the eMagic business. You must first own the product, then you talk about the product. And how does eMagic compensate the distributors? Every single set of emGuarde, they set aside $1,200 as its pre-budget, which means this is how much eMagic is allocating from every set of emGuarde to be paid out to the distributors. And it's $1,200, and it is divided into 8 equal parts. And one part is called 1 point. So if you take 1,200 divided by 8, you get $150. Okay? So how does it work? Now, there is something called the core and non-core commission. Now, non-core commission means you join eMagic only with emGuarde, and you do not own a Kangen machine, you do not own an Wukong, you do not own an NSPA. But those of you who already own a Kangen machine, right, it's considered a core account. As long as your name is a core account name, right? Let's say Brandon buys a Kangen machine, he buys now an emGuarde to start his second account. So both those accounts, because it's still under Brandon's name, it's a core account. Same name. Okay? So the moment you have core account, you make $150, the higher one. So when you start off in the business, you are a 1A distributor. You make $150 on your first and second sale. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the core commission. 2A, which is third direct sale onwards, you make $300 every time you sell. Okay, so the more you sell, the higher your rank will increase. And when your rank increases, the more commissions the company pay. And after 10 sales, now you are at a 3A on your 11th sale, and that's $450. So imagine just selling 10 of these, 10 sets of these a month. You're talking about $4,500 commissions. It's not a big deal, right? And when your downline starts to duplicate, we're talking about more. But here, we're only focusing on how much you would make as a direct sale, okay? And the moment you get to 4A, and if you want to look at how you want to rank up, everything is cumulative, which means when you're 3A, you already have 10 sales in your organization, right? So for you to get to 4A, it is not another 20, it's just another 10. Because everything is accumulated month after month. There's no refreshing, there's no resetting. So once you get to 20, the next direct sale is a 4A, which makes it $600. So ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are 4A, there are some of you who are 4 in the group, all right? Selling 10 emGuardes, 10 bundles a month as a 4A, what would be your commission? I want you guys to type it out. I know it's simple math, but I want you guys to type it out. If you're a 4A distributor and you sell 10 bundles of emGuarde a month, how much would you earn? Type it out in the chat box. Because when you type it out, you manifest it and it happens, right? Because 1 unit, you make 600. 10, you make 6 grand just by selling 10 sets. It's huge. Thank you, right? It's a lot of money. And the moment you get to 5A is after 50, you get to 5A, is 750. And after you achieve 6A, which is above 100 units, right? You're already at 6A and you're going to be making $900 every sale. You do 10 of these, you're talking about 9 grand. You do 20 of it, you're talking about $18,000. And there are people already doing 10, 20 a month themselves. I'm not talking about their group, themselves, and then their group, right? So this is an exciting opportunity. Find me a business today that you can start with less than $3,000 to make $9,000 to $18,000 down the road. Find me a business. Doesn't exist. And find me a business that doesn't require you to buy things every month to maintain your account or to maintain your distributorship. Because in emGuarde, all you need to do is to invest one time. You want to go for 1 product, 2 product, 3 product, that's up to you. All your different teams have different strategies, but the minimum is 1 product and you're good to go, right? But if you want to make more commission, there are other strategies, okay? Gonna make 12K, very good. Because she's stacking. She's like, gonna make 12 because she's stacking. Okay, keep that to yourself, Kelly. So very nice, very, very nice. So here, we're gonna talk about indirect sales. Now, how are you going to become a core commission? Own any eligible level up water system or Wukong product under the same registered name, like I've mentioned just now. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about Wukong. Okay, the Wukong is our emGuarde turmeric supplement from Okinawa, and it is unique because you're not going to find it at any pharmacy. You're going to find it only from emGuarde because emGuarde grows its own turmeric in Okinawa, Japan. I've been to the farms. Anybody been to the farm in Okinawa? Type Okinawa if you have been there. I've seen the farmers. I've met the farmers. They are very tiny, short, very dark because they're always under the sun. They work very hard and they farm this amazing organic turmeric from Okinawa. Not the regular turmeric you'll find in the pharmacy, but from Okinawa. And they make it with Kangen water. They package it with Kangen water, and it is one of the most powerful antioxidant curcumin supplement in the market. And you can use that as part of your strategy. Of course, you can also use the Kangen machine, which is the core product of the company, right? But I want to talk about this. So just imagine, you join emGuarde with emGuarde only. So you are a non-core account for the moment, and you're making non-core commissions. So it's $115, 1A, 2A is $230, and you sell. And every time your distributor under your line starts to sell, you make indirect commissions. Because Tom is what we call your 1A line. And every time Tom's organization sells a product, you make 1A commission. What happens when your 2A line starts to sell? You make 2A commissions. Who loves overriding commission? Type OC in the chat box, overriding commission. I love overriding commission because overriding commission means you are leveraging on your team's energy. You're leveraging. You're becoming a leader. You're not becoming a salesman. You're becoming a leader. You're learning to duplicate with a strategy. So it goes all the way down until when? Because energy is not one of those pyramid schemes, it pays a maximum of 8 points. Remember about the 8 points? So it goes to a certain level. So when it goes all the way down to Don, when Don buys an emGuarde, all right, John gets 1 point commission because it's his first sale. Bob makes 2 points. Ani 2 points. Rose makes 2 points. 7 points from Don's emGuarde has been paid out to these 4 people. So the balance of 1 point flows up to you. So it's very much similar like I don't know, insurance agency. I don't know. But this is unique because this 8 point is patented. All right. So on Don's emGuarde, you don't make $230, you make $115. Why? Because there's only 1 point left for you. Second sale, same thing. But on the third sale, because John is already a 2A, he makes 2 points, Bob makes 2, Ani makes 2, Rose makes 2, then it cuts off for you. And we always like to be very transparent here because we like to show people that, hey, this company has been around for 52 years. They have done over 8 billion, coming to $10 billion of sales for a reason. Not just their product is fantastic, their commission system is sustainable. And I think it goes hand in hand, right? So after 10 group sales, you open up a new lane. Why do you want to open up a new lane? Because that makes you a 3A. And the moment your 3A line starts to duplicate, you make 3A commission. The moment your 4A line starts to duplicate, you make 4A commission. The moment your 5A line starts to duplicate, you make 5A commission, all the way until 6A. All right? Take a look at that. And what you guys can do, if you use the Wukong strategy, this is what's going to happen. Because when you come into the business, you're coming with an emGuarde and an Wukong, it makes both your accounts a core account. Both of it. And that means all your commissions is going to turn to the core commission, right? From the get-go. And not only that, when you come in with emGuarde Kangen or emGuarde Wukong strategy, you're also going to earn double the commissions because now you have 2 accounts to override commissions. So far, so good. Type 1 if you guys are with me. Because remember, every account is a profit center. Every account is a profit center. But you have to make sure that the Wukong or Kangen account is the same name as the emGuarde. It can't be your wife's name, your son's name. Doesn't work. Has to be the same name. So now, take a look at this. This solves the problem of core and non-core. I don't even talk about core and non-core because everybody that joins me in my business, they come in with emGuarde or Wukong or emGuarde with machine. It's either or they come up with 4 products to become a 2A, right? But at the bare minimum, they come in what we call a duo, which is the emGuarde and the Wukong or emGuarde or machine. Depends which one resonates with them. Give them a choice. So far, so good. All right. And I want to talk about something important. That the new emGuarde, let me go back to this slide. Where is the slide? The current emGuarde that we're talking about. So the moment you become a core account, it is a 30.4% increase in commission. So it definitely makes sense for you to come in with the Wukong at the bare minimum. And those of you who understand Wukong, it maintains your SP, allows you to earn Wukong commission. There's a lot of good stuff that comes with the Wukong. And now with the new emGuarde, the sales value. Jenny, unfortunately, no, I didn't press the record button. Sorry about that. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. It's okay. I'll do it again. So, where was I? Yep, the sales value of the emGuarde is $2,880, which means if you just do 100 emGuardes, you're already at $288,000 of sales value. That's almost a 6A. So you actually can focus purely on emGuarde, some Wukong, some machine, and get to 6A within 100 sales. 100%. You can get there. So that is exciting for me. And those of you who want these slides, all right, it is already available. Go to emGuarde to the World. It's the only one with more than 12,000 members right now. It's on Facebook. And I know a lot of you are on this group, but a lot of you are not using the resources, and because the resources are all under guides. So I want you guys to go all the way to guides. There's many guides there, all the videos, all the presentations, or the HD images, brochures. There is a dedicated team working on this website to give you guys everything. So if you guys are planning to build your own websites, you want to have high definition images, whatever it is, it's all there. It's under guides. So all these resources are actually given to you guys for absolutely free. All right. So please use it, because we know that we have the knowledge here. We started emGuarde in Malaysia so many years ago, and the whole world is now trying to figure out what emGuarde is, even after 3 years. So it's just cool to share the knowledge. All right. So for emGuarde, so go to the guides. Everything is there. You know, download the presentation. You don't have to ask from anybody. You don't have to ask from me. You don't have to ask from your upline. It's all there. In fact, emGuarde now is what we call eMagic 2.0, because there's no more upline and downline. Some uplines a blur. What? They don't know what's happening when their downline is the one working. Because emGuarde now is presenting a brand new opportunity for every distributor. So why did I ask about your rank just now? You could be a 1A, you could be a 2A, you could be a 6A. And let me tell you this, 6 months down the road, 1 year down the road, you could outperform every 6A2-3 in your branch if you decide to. 3 years ago, I was in Nigeria building the eMagic business. When I came back to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, that's when they launched the first generation emGuarde. There was a 6A and above meeting in a hotel just next to the office. I went there as a 6A2. I sat in that presentation, and around in front of me, there was some -3, -4, -5, even -6, dash all the way. And the company was unveiling a new product, and everybody was like, oh, what is this new product? Is it like a 9-plate machine, 12-plate machine? They didn't understand what this new product was, because eMagic distributors, they are so programmed to water machines. That's all they know. But they don't know that eMagic is trying to be, and they are going to be, a holistic wellness company. They want to do everything. They can't just do water alone, right? And when they unveiled this new emGuarde product, everybody was like, you should see their faces, because it was the first branch, first event, nobody knew anything. And everybody was like, wow, what is this? Right? And a lot of them seemed very confused. They were like, what? Radiation? Why is eMagic going to radiation? Every branch is like this. When they came out with the Ukon, everybody was like, oh no, it's becoming one of like multi-level marketing. It's no longer water. We want water only. Water. And then now everybody loves the Ukon. Everybody uses the Ukon. And when it came out, emGuarde, oh, it's a new product. We don't understand it. We don't know what is megahertz. We don't know what is EMF. We don't know what is this. I was sitting there like, damn, I was not the first person to start Kangen in Malaysia, but I can be the first person to make this big. And that's what I did. In 2023, August, that's where they had the pre-launch. From that day onwards, I bought 3 emGuardes. I mean, I bought like 3 for my home, and this now I bought like 2 sets so far. I bought 2 sets for my family. And I told myself, I'm going to be number 1 in this. And I caught the product specialist. His name is David. He's a very good friend of mine. I've known him for some time. Caught him to a corner. I said, man, spend time with me. Give me everything that you have learned in 6 years in terms of emGuarde and EMF. Give everything to me. I'm going to be number 1. Just give me like 3 days. So he downloaded everything onto me. I learned everything. I'm a pretty fast learner. Not that difficult, to be honest. Man, this is not rocket science, okay? I learned everything in 3 days. Boom, created a presentation, went out there, started selling. Don't have to be perfect before you sell. There's no such thing, right? You become perfect when you sell. You sell 100 emGuardes, that's how you become perfect. You're never going to be perfect and then go and sell 100 emGuardes. No way. Started selling a ton of these devices, became the top sales in Malaysia, became the top sales in Asia, then became top sales globally for emGuarde. And I ranked up from 6A2 to 6A2-2 in a couple months, 6A2-3 in 11 months, and then 6A2-4 in less than 20 months from a 6A2 by using the emGuarde Ukon, emGuarde Kangen strategy. And a lot of them until today is still sleeping on this, and it's fine. I want them to sleep. I want them to be in deep coma, because when they're in deep coma, the people that can see it are the ones that's going to grab the market, and let them sleep. It's okay, right? So I really appreciate you guys for coming to this call, because you guys are the ones that have woken up. That's 38 of you guys. That's like what, 200,000 distributors or something? 38 of you guys. Why? They're in their coma, they're in their wonderland, whatever. It's okay. And we keep them there because 38 people is all we need to dominate the entire world, dominate the market, right? So guys, take this as an incredible opportunity. That's not going to happen again. Launch in the US last month, launch in Canada last week. So this is Energy 2.0, ladies and gentlemen. And who here you're going for the Canada event? Who's going to be there? Vancouver. Who's going to be there? Who is going to be there? Type in the chat box if you're going to be in Canada. Yeah, who's going to be there? So I'm going to be there and I'm going to be speaking on stage. I'm not sure what time is my slot. I'm just trying to find out. So I'm not sure what time is my slot. I'm sure there's an itinerary that's going to send out soon. I know my brother Brandon is going to be there. Excited to hear him speak. Right. And it's going to be, so Mehdi says it's waiting for a visa. So those of you, I'm going to see you guys there, right, in Vancouver, 20th of September. I'm going to talk about emGuarde on the stage. I'm not just going to talk about emGuarde. I'm going to talk about, really key business strategies that you need to grow your magic business and to do it the right way, because I believe most people are doing it the wrong way. Everybody's trying to be a Kangen doctor. Everybody's trying to be a, I don't know, health, and they're going nowhere. But it's just that why Enet is still doing well, because the product is so compelling. That's it. Because the product is so good, it's selling itself. But it doesn't mean that people are doing it the right way. So I'm going to talk about the right way in Vancouver. So if you have not gotten your tickets for the event, all right, get your tickets and I'll see you guys there in Vancouver, right? And those of you who have been invited here for the very first time, the new people, get back to the person that invited you into this call. Get into a one-on-one call with them. They can guide you depending on the branch that you're from to get your forms, how to buy your emGuarde, how to process the payment, how to get your Enagic ID, how to get your back-end software to check your organization, everything. Go back to the person that invited you. All right. So I'm fired up too, Brandon. So all this is going to be really, really exciting. So I think that's it for today's call. The next call, which is happening next week, we're going to be doing this call twice a week, right? I'm getting like, so if you want to be a presenter of this call, reach out to me. We can do it as well. We're looking for volunteer presenters. Now, all the presenters that I'm brought in, everybody's volunteering. Why? Because they're able to sharpen and hone in their skills. Now, this is a platform. It's a platform for you to become a good presenter. Okay, a platform for you to present on Zoom, to get familiarized. So it is a privilege. So reach out to me if you want to be part of our presenter ring. Reach out to me. You have my Facebook. Send us a message on emGuarde to the World. We'll get in touch with you if you want to become a presenter. And for next week, we're actually going to turn it into a different time zone because now Europe has also launched. We want to include our European friends, Canadian friends, American friends at the same time. So we might change the time zones, right, and the timings. So we're going to send that out as soon as we've confirmed the timing. Okay, guys? So thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys on the call maybe next week, following week. And those of you who are in Canada, I'll see you guys there. All right, guys. Take care, guys. See you and have a lovely evening for those of you who are at night. And for those of you who have just started our day, I'm wishing you guys a powerful day. See you guys. Thank you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.